Yes, children, we will go for the next concept or the next subtopic in this chapter, the village Palampur. Our next subtopic is farming in Palampur. Under the farming, we will discuss about all the factors of production, how they have used in Palampur village. First one is the land is fixed. Farming is the main occupation or production activity in Palampur village. 75% of the working people are dependent on farming for their livelihood. Means 75, maximum people are dependent upon the farming. Maximum people are farmers. And since 1960, Palampur village, there has no increase or expansion of the farmland, because the farmland, it is fixed. Land is fixed always. Then after some time, this Palampur village, when the method of cultivation increased, they have used the variety of modern techniques, and they bring some wasteland in the use. So after 1960s, since 1960s, after that they increase their cultivated land. But in Indian villages, they are using the local units and measurement of bigha, gunta, canal, ghuman, SST. As you know the standard, what is the standard unit of measurement of land? The hectare is the standard unit of measurement land. But Indian villages, they are using, or the Indian states, they are using different measurement system. They are using their local measurement system, like the bigha is used by West Bengal, like the gunta is used in Odisha. So in such a way, the villages as well as the state have their own measurement unit, local measurement unit. But whenever you are talking about the standard measurement of a unit is the hectare. The ways to produce more from the same land. How can we produce more from the same land? The Palampur village have proved by adopting different method of cultivation. They prove that a farmer can produce more from the same land within a 1 year or a one fixed period of time. The Palampur village people are producing kharif crops, rabi crops, and in between the October to December they are also producing potatoes. Besides that, they are producing the sugar cane, which require to grow for the 1 year. So in such a way, the Palampur village is producing 3 variety of crops. Mainly during the rainy or kharif season, people grow jowar and bajra. Basically, they are using for the cattle fodder. They are using for the cattle fodder. Whereas in the rabi crop, they are producing the wheat. And beside that, potatoes and sugar cane. So in such a way, particular within a 1 year, they are growing from the same piece of land different variety of crops. How it is possible? By adopting the different cultivation method. First one, a part of the land area is also devoted to sugar cane, which have harvested once in a year. And first method of cultivation they are using in the multiple cropping. What is multiple cropping? To grow more than one crop from the same piece of land is called the multiple cropping, because the farmers of the Palampur village growing kharif crop and rabi crop, means more than one crop from the same piece of land by adopting the multiple cropping. Next, they also adopted the modern farming method. Under this modern farming method, they are generally uses the HIV seed, high yield variety of seeds, which produces a maximum quantity. It increases the quantity of the production. HIV seeds, then chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, tractor, different tools and machines, modern tools and machines they are using in modern farming method. By using this modern farming method also, they can go for the more than one crop in the same piece of land. Besides, the electricity is there, they are using the modern irrigation system to produce the crops. As a result of the coming of electricity in the Palampur village, people have greatly improved the system of irrigation. They can now irrigate more land quite effectively. Tubewells were first installed by the government, and now the Palampur village also they are installing their own tubewell, and which can be fixed with the pump set and easily irrigated the land beside the monsoon season. Now you see modern farming method. What is comprises use of HYVCs, fertilizers, irrigation and pesticides. What is the result? The result brings the green revolution in the late 1960s. The maximum production, they turned into production of wheat and rice by using the modern farming method. Tremendous increase in the production. With this green revolution, when it is tremendous increase in the production of wheat and rice. And who first adopted in the Indian state, which one adopted this modern farming method? First adopted by the farmers of Punjab, Haryana and Western Uttar Pradesh. Will the land sustain? Here question arises. We are using the different farming method. Within a year we are producing so many things. We are using chemical fertilizers. We are using groundwater for the irrigation besides the monsoon. Yes or no? That the traditional seeds using, the monsoon rainwater using is the traditional method of cultivation. Now we are using the modern method of cultivation, using the different tools and machines, chemical fertilizers. Whether the land will sustain? No, the land will not sustain, because that is a great effect of all those use of HYV seeds. HYV seed requires the maximum water, which requires the maximum water. When we are talking about the maximum water and using the pump set, taking out the groundwater, the day by day the groundwater is going down and down. Water table is going decreasing day by day. And besides that, we are using the chemical fertilizers. Instead of increasing the fertility of the soil, actually it is decreasing the fertility of the soil, because it kills the microorganism present on the soil, which naturally increases the fertility of the soil. Automatically using of pesticides, insecticides, which pollutes the running water also. These are all the drawbacks. When you are using the chemical fertilizers, then HYV seeds, to purchase of all these things require the maximum money. The rate is high. So production of the crops is also rising day by day, which ultimately it is a burden for the people of the country, who has to pay ultimate the cost of the product. How is land distributed between the farmers of Palampur? How the land is distributing between the Palampur village? You can see the picture how it is. So maximum big land is there, but big land has a few and the small land are more. Out of the 450 families, having the Palampur village, the 450 families, landless 450 families, 150 families, most of them are the Dalits, have no land. And you can see, and the maximum less, they are having the maximum less 2 hectare of land. Maximum poor people, 240 families, they are having the small piece of land, and 150 family, they are not having any land in their hands. But 80 upper caste families and the big farmers, they are having the maximum cultivated land in their hand. You can see here, the 64% are the small farmers using the 24% of the land, whereas the 36% of the big farmers, they are using 80% of the cultivated land. This is the scenario of the every Indian villages. Here we can see one table that 40 families having the 160 hectares of land in their hand, whereas 240 families having the 80 hectares of land in their hand. So 150 families, there is no land. So we can see maximum land in the few families, those who are the big farmers. So here we can see maximum in the landless labor can be found in the Indian village. In case of that, who will provide the labor? In case of a small farmers, who will provide? In case of a small farmer, those who are having the small holdings, they are only their family members working in the field. In the big farmers, they always hire the labor from the village, because the village Palampur having the maximum labor. Children, you can see this, the dialogue between the Ramkali and Dala. It is given in your book. You can go through and you can understand how the farm laborer, those who are not having the land, facing the problem to get the work in Palampur.